Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. This is Harry, and it's Advanced English Lessons with Harry, where we try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. Well, this week's lesson is all about verbs, and it's about action verbs with your hands. Different movements with your hands, gestures we sometimes refer to them as. So I've got 10 of them in the list. I'll go through them with you and explain what they mean, and I have a little extra one at the end. Okay, so 10. So what do they mean and how do we use them? As I said, they're all particular actions. They're all verbs about certain actions that you do with your hands. So it's all focusing on our hands, not the arms as such, the hands, okay? Because some people get confused and they refer to it all as the arm. It's the hand, the wrist, the arm. So we're talking about actions and movements with our hands. So the first one is clench. Okay, now we clench our fists. When we clench our fists like this when we're angry. Oh, he clenched his fists. He was really angry. He wanted to hit somebody. So a clenched fist. An open hand, clenched, closed, but closed really tightly. Okay, so open, clenched. And you can clench your teeth together as well. Clench, so something tight. Okay, clench. Second, clutch. Well, we clutch something when we hold it tight. He clutched his mobile phone so that nobody could take it. If you're in the fashion industry, or like ladies who like fashion, they have a little small, very small handbag called a clutch bag. It's something you can hold, and it can hold a stick of lipstick or car keys, but not a lot else. So it's a clutch bag, something you clutch in your hand. So to clutch something is to hold it tightly next to your body so you can't drop it. Yeah, we have a clutch in a car, of course, when we're driving, so that's something completely different. But when we're talking about the verb to clutch, is to hold something tightly. So I clutched my mobile phone so nobody could take it from me. I clutched the hand of my son so he wouldn't run away. Okay. Next, to fumble. When we fumble for something, it means we can't find what we're looking for and we're rooting around somewhere. For example, we'll go back to the handbag, the big, normal handbag that ladies carry. And if you ever look inside your partner's handbag, you'll know exactly what I mean. There's everything in there. There's a whole world, yeah? It's like looking inside a maze. So there's car keys and lipsticks and notebooks and I don't know what else is in there. So when you're trying to find something, or your partner's trying to find something, they fumble inside the handbag trying to find something and just it's not visible. Okay, so to fumble means to look without success trying to find something. But you can also fumble in your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets trying to find a coin or trying to find a pen, or it's here somewhere, and you fumble around but you don't really get it. So you're a little bit nervous, a little bit uneasy, not sure where it is, so you fumble. Gesture. Now, a gesture is a hand action. So a gesture could be anything from the clenched fist to a shaking of the hand as a warning. These are all gestures that we make. Or if you don't know, somebody might go, "Ooh, it's a gesture." They shrug their shoulders, they hold their hands open. That's what we call a gesture, something that indicates more than words can say, a gesture. To grab something is to grab something quickly. Whoosh, yeah, you grab it and you grab it and you run away. Or when we're in a hurry, we say, I'm going to grab a sandwich at lunchtime, or I'll grab a coffee on my way out of the office because I'm really in a hurry. So you get up late on the Monday morning, you've had a nice sleep, but when you look at the clock, you're going to miss your train. So you jump in the shower, get your clothes on quickly, and your partner says, are you going to stay for coffee? No, I'll grab something on the way to work. I'll grab something in the coffee shop. I really don't have time. I've got a meeting I shouldn't have slept in. Okay, so to grab is to take something very quickly. Yeah, okay, so you grab your hat and coat, you grab the school bag, you run out the door. Grab, taking something in your hand very, very quickly. To grasp. Well, when we're talking about hand actions, to grasp something is to hold it, yeah? To grasp the hand of your child just before they run out onto the road. To grasp hold of the handle in the metro, so when the train or the tube or the metro comes to a sudden stop, you're about to fall, you grasp hold of the metal bar, you hold it tightly so you don't fall over. Okay, so you grasp. There's an expression to grasp at straws or to clutch at straws. So to grasp is to try and hold something that gives you an opportunity to hold on, not to fall. Grasp. Okay. To point, well, point literally is you point with your finger. Over there. Where is he? He's over there. We often hear from our parents, it's rude to point. What did you say? It's rude to point. But if we're trying to give somebody some direction, look, just head down the road, go along there, take the first turning on the left, then go right, and you'll find it on the right-hand side. So to point. What are you looking at? That's over there. Yeah. So you can point to indicate something that you want somebody to see. If you're making a presentation, you point with something in your hand. It could be a stake or something that you use to point out certain figures on the slides or the PowerPoint presentation that you want to bring to somebody's attention. So you point with a finger, okay? This way, usually with this finger, the one closest to your thumb, or if you're right-handed, you might point with another hand. I use my left hand, so I usually point with this. Point it in the right direction, to point, about aiming something. And then when we use stroke or pet, these are to do with animals. We stroke our dog, or we stroke the cat, or we pet the dog, or we pet the cat. So it's an action with our hand as an action of affection to show that we love them, or we care for them, or we, when the dog brings back something, or the dog does something, or the dog protects you, you stroke it, to make it calm, or you pet it on the head to say good boy, good girl, whatever way you have of addressing your cat or your dog. So these are actions with our hands to show some form of affection for the pet of the house, the dog or the cat. Okay? Or you might take your children to the zoo and they go to what they call the petting zoo, which is usually a small part of the zoo for domesticated animals like sheep or goats or cats and dogs or rabbits. And the children might ask, can we pet the animals? Yes, of course, but be very careful. Some of them might pinch or bite or nibble or nip. Yeah? Okay, so you can pet, use your hand to pet, to stroke the particular animal. And then we have punch, douche, like a boxer. Boxers punch, okay? So they clench the fist and they punch to hurt or to inflict pain on their competitor or their opposition, okay? Or if somebody's angry, they punch somebody in the street. He was attacked in the street, he was punched and kicked and knocked to the ground, okay? So two boys in the schoolyard fighting, they punch each other, and somebody comes home with a cut lip or a black eye because his friend or somebody punched him in the schoolyard. Okay, so punches, first of all, clench the fist and then douche. Okay, that sort of action. So if you're watching the boxing match, it's all about punching. And we have a punch bag in the gym so we can practice punching. So to punch, that action of the clenched fist. And then we have fiddle. So when somebody fiddles with their hands, they're not relaxed. When you're sitting at a meeting and somebody's picking their fingernails, or they're doing this, or they're doing that, or they're scratching their head, they are fiddling. Okay, so to fiddle is to have lots of little small gestures or hand actions that can be a little bit irritating when you're trying to focus on what somebody is saying, or you're hoping that they are listening to you, but all the time you see them picking the nails, scratching this, and you're not sure whether they hear you, listen to you, or whether they care at all. So that's to fiddle. Or fidget is another one, to fiddle and fidget. So the teacher might say to the children in the class, sit still, stop fiddling and fidgeting. Stop moving your hands and doing things. Focus on me, concentrate. You'll learn much easily, or much more easily than that. Okay, so these are the 10 particular verbs about particular actions using the hands. So we've got clench. Okay, so we clench our fist. Clutch, we grab something, we hold it tightly to us, to clutch. We fumble for something. We look for something in the handbag when we're trying to find something, or fumble in the dark for the light switch that we cannot find. A gesture, so with our hands, something that speaks more than words. To grab a sandwich, grab a coffee. To grasp, hold quickly and tightly so that there's no accident. To point our finger at somebody or something. To stroke the pet, to pet the dog or the cat, stroke and pet, actions of the hand with animals. To punch, to protect ourselves or to attack somebody, to punch. And then to fiddle and fidget, not to be relaxed, not to be focused, not to be concentrated. And the other one that we have is a wave. When you want to say goodbye to somebody, goodbye, you wave. Or what's this? You'll find it in the kitchen. It's a microwave. A microwave. So to wave is to say goodbye. A microwave, a small wave. Okay, well, these are the particular verbs of action. So again, practice them, try to understand them. Hopefully you'll know what to do and you'll know when to use them. Some of them can be very similar, like to grab and to clutch and to grasp. Very, very similar actions, but practice them, see how I've used them. If you have any problems, come back to me and I'll try and explain them to you again. Okay, well, I really appreciate you listening. If you need to contact me, well, then you can do so on www.englishlessonvia.skype.com. Always happy to hear from you. Always happy to answer your questions. As always, thanks for listening. Join me again soon.